notify everybody up in the Discord. Live notice. Critical Role pre-show and community tier list. Do that and that. All right. I think we are Gucci. They were just going to sit on this screen until we get to the tier list portion. And then I will swap us to the scene with the tier list, which let me double check that it's working. Boom. Yes. Okay. So this is what we'll do once we get to that, which I realized anybody on TikTok, I have no scene when I do this. So let me quickly set this up. What's up, Lettuce? What's up, Stormzy? What's up, D&D Nerd? Party Steve, Eero. What's up? What's up? What's up? Video device. Yes. We'll do this. Cam. And then we'll just add browser. Oh no, that's a browser source. There we go. Sorry, I'm just setting up for when I go to the other scene. Someone's muted. I didn't hear you go live. I didn't mute it. Interesting. What's up, Astri? All right, so everything appears to be working. So what we'll do is we'll hang out here. We'll give it like 10, 15 minutes, give people time to come in, and then we will begin the votes. So if you were interested in that, stick around. Make sure you guys go ahead and give the live a thumbs up. Little thumbs up button right underneath. What's up, AKA? What's up, Ophidian? Yeah, so we will jump into the actual voting in a bit. What's up, Daniel? I still have faith Kattigan will recover in his next arc. I was about to take a nap. Well, you knew what was coming. You knew what was coming. I wonder if I really need this light on. What? BZ, thanks for subscribing to the channel. Equipment rate Taylor. I mean, no, we are. He's gonna get put on the tier list. He has a spot. So every character will be on this list. We are also going to do it as the way that somebody brought up doing it last time. You know how before I just did whatever had the highest number, I was like, oh, like that, or the, yes, the highest percentage, I just put them in that. Even if it was like, you know, whatever. We're going to do it the way where if it's, you know, 45% for S tier, but then like 35% for B tier, or B tier, and then whatever, they're going to end up in A, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to go with like, where does it average out? That's where it's going to be ranked, not just the majority. So that way, because otherwise you just end up with a very top heavy rating. So we're going to do it that way. I don't remember exactly. I think it's just math, right? You just kind of like split it between, but hopefully each of them will be like obvious enough that we don't have to worry about that. But, yeah, once we get some folks in here, we will swap to the scene that I have set up, the tier list scene right here. We'll name the tiers, unless we could just keep it SABC. We're not going to go all the way down to F probably, because I can only do, my polls can only do what? 4 options, I think. Yeah, 4 options. So we can only go SABC, or do we want to go ABCD? What do you guys think? Because I can only do 4 options. So do we just go S to C? Because I think in this one, it's totally valid to have like a D tier or something for Vaelus. Personally, I don't know. What's up, David? What's up, Double? What's up, Vlad? Makes a lot of sense. I agree, Lettuce, 100%. A to D. Okay. Yeah, there won't be an S tier. But I think the problem is that that's going to convolute a lot. S is kind of like the wow, you really shot up. But if you do, will the Age of Umbra party have to fight their way out of the tower tonight? I don't think so. I don't think so. That also just reminded me, I don't think I have like alerts or something on this scene because I didn't hear a notification for that. Let's do S to C until we get to Vaelus. Yeah, I wish if I could do at least 5 on there, I would, but unfortunately it only lets me do that. So we'll do that and we'll delete. So it'll just be that. What's up, Weber? Vaelus has already been ranked. Yeah, having S tier for mass improvement and effort is disappointed. Everything else mostly averages. Yeah, it makes it a little complicated. Where like it's just not perfect. Like if we could at least have 5 options for the poll, that would be amazing. But unfortunately, we can't. So we're stuck with having to do this, or else I do like the idea of SABD or SABF or something like that. But yeah. Because like I just don't know if C is low enough for Vaelus. So, like that's my main problem. Other than that, it's fine. But it's okay. It's okay. Hold on, I'm gonna set stuff up on the tier listing real quick. There we go. All right, the chat can't stay there. So this isn't ideal. I guess we don't need that much room for the browser. So maybe we do. Nope, that's not right. No, that is it. Yeah. Okay, so we do this. Maybe we. And then I just put you guys right here. I can shrink you a little bit, maybe. Do that, do that. There we go. This could work for it, right? Hey, there it is. $5 super chat. Will we get more scenes with Mr. Beaks? I don't think we will. I don't think we will, but that was well done by them to piece that thing together. That was good. That was very good. Overman says, Vaelus is on my top 5. Her arc with Thaisha was amazing. Vaelus is in your top 5? I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. Mr. Beaks is dead. Mr. Beaks is just with somebody else now. That's all. That's all. Yo, what up, Better Sands? Oh, did it change everything up because I moved it to a different screen? Because I wanted to look at the thing? Never mind. Oh, now it's all jacked up, huh? No. Is it back? It's back. Okay. I'm going to mix up how we're voting. Let's start with Hal. Let's move Thaisha back over here. Maybe throw Julien in there. Yeah. We are still quite early into the story, so there's a chance my favorite will change dramatically. Oh, 100%. Like, there's no doubt that people's favorite characters will change over time. We are still very early. Uber's top 5 is Wick, Vaelus, Azune, Octus, and Julien. I just don't know how you put Vaelus in that group. That is crazy to me. Crazy. Kattigan Taylor. No, I mean, I wouldn't go so far as hate when it comes to Kattigan and Taylor, but I definitely think there are firm cases to make that they haven't really been. I mean, Taylor wasn't really active. He was very quiet. There was really no substance to his character. Kattigan, I think there's stuff there. I think that's a harder thing, but he's also slow rolling it, so I can understand some of those thoughts. Watching the most, right? Your interpretation for the most part. This is for the campaign so far. When it comes to the tier list, once we get started, we haven't started yet. Once we get started, this will be including the convergence. So you have to take it all into account. Like, you can be like, I loved Vaelus in the overture, but everything else brought her down. That's what I'm looking for. Not a, well, she was awesome in the first 2 episodes. She wasn't from that point forward. I'm going to give her an S because she was awesome in the first. No. Overall, like, at the end of the convergence, with everything taken into account, how do you feel about the character? That's what the list is built on. I think a lot of people really want to root for Vaelus and keep feeling let down. Maybe that's not fair to the character, but I think that's why so many people are. That is 100% it. I want Vaelus to be cool, and it's just not happening. Who do you think will rank the highest in this? Wick and Octus. Probably towards the top. Party Steve says, Bolaire, I'm interested in seeing how Bolaire adapts again now the decade of being a museum curator in his room. That's true. Whole new world. A whole new world. Vaelus had a chance to move up in the last episode. We feel like no one gave her a chance to freak the F out. The death of Hanan. I was really enjoying the Hanan and Vaelus relationship. She had the chance. She just didn't for 3 hours. So, I don't know. What's up, Mortos? Yeah, true. Because that's a big thing for me. Yeah. David says it's possible it's not inconsistencies in a set insecurity and defense mechanism against the world. That's my hope. I think Robbie playing Kattigan plays the character of Kattigan really well. His rash decision making, his character plays true to the narrative. You forgot Thimble. No, I almost added in that they would be ranked up there just for David, but just pretty funny moments though. Taylor is Taylor, the old spit and shake, like he's been crying for his brother. Sure, he had a few fun moments. They were just very few and far between, and they did not exist really outside of the Soldiers arc, right? Like in the other like get together things, there just wasn't that much. I don't know. I feel like part of it is his last couple episodes before they went into the Obermus Manor, because he was fine in Obermus Manor, but the 1 or 2, 3 episodes before that, he was just so bad that it was like, well, not even bad. He was non-existent, and he was not in a hurry to save his brother at all, despite the fact that was like the whole thing that they went and did. And so it just felt like a big drop off to me. But this isn't I already did my tier list. This is y'all's tier list. So once we get voting, I wanted to give some time for people to get in here before we started voting. But yeah. But see, that's the thing is you say can't standard, but I don't have a problem with Thimble. Even in my tier list, I was like, I don't dislike Thimble. I just think people love Laura so much that they're overinflating Thimble in this campaign. That's it. Like I think people are overhyping Thimble because it's Laura. Thimble is not, like, compared to other S tier characters, right? Like, to me, Thimble is nowhere close to Wick. Like, not even close, not even the ballpark. So, like, that's where I'm like, people are like, oh, she's S tier, she's the best. And I'm like, no, she isn't. Just point blank, Thimble is not. Boom. But, you know, just my take. Yep, I'm gonna give it like 5 minutes and we'll start voting. Kind of ruined the whole point. I agree, Paul. Her getting strength bracers, I don't support that at all. That was the one thing that can make her character kind of interesting, was that she might have to like fight against that one negative she has. That one thing that it's like, oh, this is a weakness of my character, and they're like, nope. Oh, here we go. With the Jaffe picture, No Hard Feelings says, hot take, I only liked Jester out of Laura's characters. Jester is by far I think the vast majority's favorite. Campaign 1 character, I'm cool with that. I think that was fine. Campaign 3, and then Thimble is fine. But I agree, Jester's the best. Yeah. But I think it's partially like the part of her that like doesn't want to be another Jester, so she's doing other stuff. Credits to Robbie. Kattigan was the only one trying to pay respect to Taylor and Sid's bodies. Others moved on so quick. Yeah. Taylor had iconic moments and will likely always be remembered fondly because those moments we will end up remembering, to be honest. That's fair. What's up, Hurl Tiger? What's up, Shadow? She had to go big to put them on, but then they had the whole thing where after that they turned into armor, right? Remember, she went into the water because she had to go small again to like get out on the river to be able to breathe, and then they turned into armor. So I'm thinking that they still work fine, but maybe not. Maybe it is that she has to go big for that. It's possible. I would love that. I would absolutely love if they like confirmed she has to go into big form to be able to benefit from the strength bracers. But I don't think that's like, she went small and it turned into that. So you excited to see where the community stands on the character still? Hopefully I get back to do some votes. Sounds good. Yeah, we're gonna give it like 2 more minutes and then we're gonna jump into voting. And we'll start. I'm just gonna go left to right. So we're gonna start with Hal, and we'll start voting here in a minute. Yo, what's up, David? Anthem says, Bolaire has been my favorite. Wick is largely comedy relief to me, which for some reason I can never put an S tier, really. But I feel like I understand. He definitely brings some humor, but I feel like there's been so much more to his character. Now, it's partially just because of who his character is in the world, like being a Halovar, having the grandmother he has. Like, he benefits from those things, but there's been some really good scenes that aren't comedy, right? He's had some amazing scenes that weren't comedic relief. After escape, true. Sure, continue using the strength when small, if I recall, could be wrong. Never lie. So this will be. That's true. That's very true. All right, let's get the first vote going. There you go. The poll is live. If you're watching anywhere other than YouTube, there is no poll. You have to do it. I'm not going to put up a poll on 3 different platforms and then individually, you know, go through and do them all. But Halandil Fang, let's go get your votes in. There are over 50 people in here and only 18 votes so far. So let's go ahead and lock it in. Vote. The poll is at the top of the chat over on YouTube. So throw your vote in there. Again, this is across the whole campaign. Like, how do you feel about them now, having gone from the overture all the way through the convergence? And feel free, throw your thoughts in the chat, like on each person, right? Like, let's make this a thing. You guys kind of explain why you're picking what you're picking or whatever. Make your case if you'd like to. It looks like A tier is vastly far ahead. But we're going to do the thing where we're going to like average it into the right tier. So keep that in mind as well. Is Taylor on the Taylor is on the list? Yeah, Taylor's on the list. Let's see. Narvelin says Wick started off in B tier for me, but the convergence bumped him up to A tier. Excited to see where he goes from here. I got B for average, A for above average, S for exceptional. I feel like there aren't many exceptional characters right now. I enjoy House Speeches quite a bit. So if I want A tier, I should vote S tier. Well, I mean, vote with what you think, because you want it to average out to where, like, it's with the community vote. It's the community vote. Don't screw the vote. I'm saying that I'm going to take the overall vote. So last time what I did was just majority rules. So if it was 51% to, you know, 47, and then there was however much percent left over in C, instead of knocking it down to where it should be at the very top of, let's say, B tier, it would stay A because majority voted A. Now we're going to average it. So like right now, it's either probably going to be high A. I mean, it's either going to be very low A or high B right now. And I'm thinking it's high A. Is what it'll be. It's not exactly. It's all of your lists. Yeah. So right now with the 57%. And all that jazz, it's still looking to be A tier. Strength of character. Not strength of character. Like in terms of, like, yeah, this isn't like a who's going to be the best in a fight poll. This is a how do you think, like, your enjoyment of the character. Is it a good character? Strong character, but not in like the mechanics sense, but in the like good character. But I'm gonna leave it up for like 10-15 more seconds. And then we're gonna go ahead and call it. So get your votes in if you haven't already. And if you haven't already, give it a thumbs up, guys. Click the thumbs up button down beneath the video. I feel like Hal's put into A. Then it's too early. A is pretty high, and I think if you did another poll at the end of the stream, Hal would go lower. Why do you think that? I mean, at 56 votes, he has over half. Right? 57%. so at 56% to 35, 5, and 4, it is low A, right? So it's like a couple percentage points off of being a B on average. Are you on Twitch? Twitch and YouTube. Arctic, this is the poll is only being done on YouTube. Yeah, if you go to YouTube and you go to Nerdcore HQ, you should be able to get there from my bio on TikTok. If you go to my bio, click the beacons link, my YouTube should be linked there. All right, we are counting down 59 votes. This is your last 5 seconds for this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. End poll. All right. So Halandil Fang is the first, and he ends up in A tier. So now we will go to Octus Taconis. There you go. Start to get your votes in for Octus Taconis. The youngest of the siblings, I believe. Octus Taconis did not have a great upbringing. Given he did not develop into sorceress abilities like much of his family in the other Sundered houses, he ended up attending the school, the Pentevril, to start to work on learning magic himself, becoming a wizard rather than a sorcerer. Let's go ahead and get in your votes. See, like this one right now, despite S being 42%, is probably going to be an A tier. Just because of the averaging out, because 25% currently have him in B tier, which is kind of surprising. Okay. Summer says, I like the concept of Octus, but find the play kind of boring. Okay. C-Dub says he is their favorite. Octus is basically ends of ends. Start from the bottom. Alex Suja, facial expressions from the for Octus. Deserves S. He put so much effort into descriptions of ability and so into character RP. Well, that is you saying you think Alex does a great job. That is different than Octus as a character. Octus needs to be challenged more, but I'm always entertained on his turns. High A, love Hal, but think he should have been B. He was just on the cusp, to be fair. Like mathematically, a couple votes go the other way and he gets knocked down to B. So it's just one of those things where it could be slightly different. I mean, that could be where somebody said, you know, if this poll was done later with more people in here, they might have been a little bit lower. Completely possible. Better Sand says Octus is my favorite. He's funny when he gets the timing, and I just find his character really cool. I could see him being group leader with his smarts. But does he have the leadership? I mean, maybe he develops into it, but I don't think he has the leadership to be that right now. So, with my calculations, currently, it is high A tier, bordering S tier. A couple more votes in either direction could swing this one. There's 77 people, it says, and 59 votes. So if you haven't already voted, vote above the chat. There is a poll, or at the bottom. Go ahead and throw your votes in. We'll give it another minute or so, and then we will lock it in. Right now, he is just between S and A. narrative. Oh no, I agree with you, Antoine. I 100% agree with you that like Octus and Wick definitely benefit from their role within the game, like the game world. There's no doubt about that.
What? I don't get this.
Lady Longrest, thank you for that follow. What's up, Schematic? All right, 60 votes. We haven't had a new vote in a little bit. So I'll give it like another 10 seconds or so. We just got another vote. Okay. And then we'll lock it in. So I'll start doing the countdown in my head. This is your last chance to vote over on YouTube. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 63 votes. And yeah, that definitely looks like an A tier. Definitely looks like an A tier. Still close to the AS, but so we're gonna go left to right. He is higher than them. Okay, now we move to Vaelus. Vaelus. S-A-B-C. Yeah, he was very high. Very high A. But that was kind of the point of this. So last time, like, you know, it was all based on, to be fair, even in the last one, he would have been A tier because I did it off of majority. This one averages out to prevent, because, you know, otherwise there's like 6 characters in S tier and it's like, no. Yeah, so go ahead and hit your votes on Vaelus. Throw it in. You have S tier, A tier, B tier, and C tier. Right now, I mean, 8% of people have given S tier, which is crazy. I feel like some of y'all, there's probably one of you who voted S tier who genuinely means it, and the rest of you are doing it just to tick me off. An S tier this way? Maybe, maybe not, but I think that's fair. It's the community vote. It's not an individual's vote. And if the community at large averages into a certain tier, that's where it's going to go, right? Again, last time I did it just majority rules, and we had like multiple S, A, like almost nobody was anything low, right? So we'd be trolling yet. 9% of this vote has S and 9% has A. So 18% are S and A tier. Just blows my mind. But hey, to each their own. I mean, some people like eating really gross food. So you know, you guys get me wrong when it comes to that. But Chris says, B, she still seems out of place with the rest, which is fitting for her character, but needs to be more assertive. Okay. I understand your point with that. Yeah. Venta says, Vaelus shouldn't have been put in that position of choice. Where can her character progress to now? Her original goal is gone. It was gone very, very early. So it kind of shifted, but it still felt kind of like a weak thing. No, I'm running it through a calculator. Winclair, yeah. People can feel free to double check, but Azune didn't. The whole point of Vaelus is that revolution had a cost. So when she and Thaisha are very similar people, despite being opposites, actually finding her footing in the future. Vaelus was B before the convergence. Hopefully it increases next arc. I don't want to overrank Vaelus just because I really love Ashley, which hey, people are going to do it with Thimble too. So, yeah. I wouldn't mind if Vaelus died in the first arc instead of Tayor. I love Ashley, but she needs a character she'll enjoy role-playing. Vaelus is so forced for her. Vaelus makes sense to me if you view her as a cult survivor, experience a different View for the first time. I put her in A. Ashley has always been a reserved player, though. I just so like I can understand people not disliking her. I have a really hard time like with people who are like, oh, A tier and S tier. It's like, what has she done to be that high? You know, like I get people who are like, hey, she's B. She's not amazing, but she's not bad. I can understand that. Like I can just that's just like a differing of opinion. Like how but like the S and A, I'm like, really? Like really? That's really tough for me. B is as high as I can, like my brain will allow me to see. With that personally, but I'm not voting in the polls. This is just you guys. So we're at 63 votes with 84 people in here. So go ahead and throw some more votes in. I just voted S because there would be a huge C bandwagon. That's not what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to vote to counter where you think it would be. You're supposed to just cast your vote so it averages out, not overcast so it averages to where you wanted your vote to be. Don't do that. Every tier, can you add a description? We could try that. What do we think? S, amazing, really good. I hate that I capitalized that. Good / fine. Room for improvement. Is that fine? You guys down for that? Last list was, oh, do you have the things? I feel like if Vaelus was played by someone else, even like Whitney or Marisha, she wouldn't get as much love or hype. Don't shoot me. I don't know. Amazing, great, good, meh, eh. Okay. Yeah, we can do that. Amazing, great, good. Wait. I had an extra tier? How did I have an extra tier? Amazing, great, good. Yeah, we'll just leave that. Amazing, great, good, room for improvement. Oh, wait. Oh, Jay, you were just recommending that. Actually, so last was already iconic, compelling, still finding their place, not clicking. Okay. Okay, yeah, okay. I latch on our character early because I vibe with a religious person having deconstruction and pain and worldview shatters. Some reason like Wick because this can no longer find merit in it. All right, we're gonna go ahead and call the vote at 70 votes. This is actually right now would put her in B tier. Leaning towards C right now. We did get another vote, so I'm gonna check one more time. Actually, let me click it and then end it, so I don't have to come back and be like, oh, there's another vote. Poll is ended. All right, it is still closer to B than C. So Vaelus will be here, which basically means there is no C characters. Because there's no way anybody gets less votes than that. Yeah, but it's there's a weighting. So when you say like wait over half are C, there's a weighting system to it, right? So like 56%, but then 18% are A and S, right? So you're averaging that out, and that's pulling numbers into more of a middle ground. You understand? Like it's an average. So when you have S, because people voted S, so that's literally the people who voted S when they weren't supposed to, that is probably what changes from a C to a B. The people who were like, oh, I want the average to be higher, so I'm going to vote a different way. That is probably why she's B and not C. Because it weighted S with 8%, and so that pulled up the average. So, yeah. All right. Next up is Thimble. S A B C. I feel like we don't understand that B and C aren't Patterson's words comparison. Yeah. When they're supposed to. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Is people who actually are like she's C, I mean, S, I have no problem with that. Vote the way, but people who are like, oh, I want her to be in B tier, so I'm going to vote S because I know she's going to, that is skewing the results and it's not getting the right result. Which is, again, I think that's the only reason she's not in C is because a couple people voted S to counteract it. Not because they think she's a best character in the thing. Average properly. That's valid. This isn't going to be perfect. I got the last time I had complaints with that system of being like, oh, well, like they have 51%, but that means that like they're not really A and whatever. And so I swapped to this, and this isn't going to be perfect either. So this is just the way the cookie crumbles when it comes to it, because I can only do 4 options on the poll, unfortunately. I can't do more than that, so. Well, it's basically on like a 4-point scale, right? The way that's being averaged is like a 4-point scale. But go ahead and cast your votes for Thimble. Thimble. Only 4 tiers. There are only 4 tiers. I surprised myself with enjoying Thimble more during the convergence. I agree. I think I also enjoyed Thimble a bit more during the convergence. I'm finding after going through this, I liked a lot more before the convergence, and mainly the schemers shine during the convergence, which puts them slightly higher to me. Valid. Thimble's treatment of Wick irked me, though. I understand why she was like that, though. Everybody was kind of picking on Wick. Thimble, I feel, has highs, or high highs, and everything else is just mid. Yeah. Does not seem skewed. I don't understand how you're coming to that conclusion. I mean, it's a 4-point scale, so like if somebody wants them S, but there's like people are voting C, like it's still going to weight in that way. It's the same way. Like C and S are going to be the ones that are probably worth more, and then falling in the middle is tougher because you kind of, right? I mean, I'm not an expert in math. I'm just running it through for averages for that. Warren alongside Azune and Kattigan on behalf of Taylor, which he gets the chance. Yeah. The way Thimble so appeased me, just become the new Shaper from Fairy. I like the grieving arc Thimble is going through. When looked at from that perspective, she's S tier. She's probably A tier if you don't consider the grieving. What grieving arc? I mean, she had her revenge arc and whatnot. Play an uncharismatic character, not charisma related. Example, Wick is not charismatic, but his character displays because of comedic relief. Much of it is also the pull depend on that. I don't think Thimble was ever bad, just doing too much damage, but it seems like she noticed and adjusted in the last few episodes. You see that they were filming the Secrets table just before their Berlin live show. I think it means they're filming Secrets now. Maybe filmed Aabria before filming Secrets. No, I didn't see that. All right, we're going to give it like another 30 seconds to go ahead and cast your votes, and then we will average it out. Looking like a very clear A tier right now. Best friend dead. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, that's been happening the whole time, right? I guess it just went kind of more background when she was on the revenge arc. I'm interested to delve deeper into Thimble. Wait, so he was saying specifically Ophidian, like he said, I think in parentheses, not charisma related, like not the stat, but the character. Like you could definitely make the case that while like his stat is high, Wick is an awkward like communicator and stuff like that. All right, we're gonna go ahead and end the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is looking, I'm pretty sure, like a clear A tier for Thimble. And we are going left to right. So, like, this is the current ranking of great. Octus is higher than Thimble, and Thimble is higher. Like, Hal was like borderline when it came to that. NPC list, there's probably too many. I did it before. Early on, I think it was right after the Soldiers arc. I think we did one. We did a whole stream that was just a bunch of different polls. We did like our favorite villains so far. We did our favorite characters. We did our favorite NPCs and stuff like that. But now there's just so many. All right, we are at Azune. Azune. S-A-B-C. There we go. Go ahead and throw your vote in right here, right now for Azune. Fisatoran about Bolaire loved him in Schemer's arc, but really disliked some of his decisions. The Convert is a great character, but I don't know where to put him in terms of enjoyment. Fair enough. Slightly above Hal seems fair. Well, there's actually, I mean, they're in the same tier, but the gap is not. All right, she was like straight up middle A, like in the numbers wise. She was like firmly middle A. He was very low A, and he was very high A. So they're literally like top, middle, and bottom in terms of the A tier right now. Chris says, Azune is straight up S tier. His contribution to the party has been boss in the Convergence arc, and his backstory is going to be a rough one considering the state of his sister. I agree with the fact that he's had massive impact. Super massive impact. He's had huge moments. He's rolled nat 20 charisma or persuasion checks at like the peak moments multiple times. So, yeah. And he's planning and scheming, and he's got his lists, and yeah. Winclair says, even when he didn't get many moments in the Convergence, Louise is still the goat of RP. Also seen in the cart with the Iron Faucets at the trial are some of my favorite parts. Yeah, and they were crucial moments. Go ahead, throw in your votes. We're almost at the number that we've been kind of ending at, which is around 75 votes. We're at 68, right? 69 right now. So make sure you cast your votes. Surprising people, I'm gonna guess those of you who voted C, I'm gonna guess it's just because you guys like don't like the crying scenes, but is that like enough to be like the character isn't good? Like the character is rated low because you don't like that? Or do you think it's something else? I just assumed like that's the reason for C's, is that people are like, oh, I don't like that he's emotional. But I don't know. I could be wrong on that. Week at the start. Yeah, in the overture, he was non-existent. Yeah, in the overture, he was non-existent. There's no doubt about that. Be definition of a scene stealer in the campaign. If anyone's seen Odyssey or Monster, we have scene interactress. Isn't it annoying? They booted C because we're taking averages. Yeah. I mean, some people may legitimately like not like him. It's okay that people like have different thoughts on it. I'm just more curious about those things because I'm not like a massive emotional lover for that either. Like I think, you know, I don't watch it for crying, but I'm also not that I'm a middle ground on it. I'm not like, oh, I love those scenes, but I'm also not like I'm gonna turn it off. You know, I'm just like, it is what it is. But I figured that's more so why somebody would have done that. But like, is it enough to be like his character's bad? Right? Like that's my question. Like I understand not liking that part, but then being like all the things he's done, the huge moments, the skilled combat, the strategy, the amazing character build, the persuasion checks, the coming up with the ideas, you know, like all of that is taken away because he cried. Like to me, that's, again, it's your votes, but to me that just feels so like that's not the character, you know? Like I don't know. Just my interpretation though. Scene was that? His whole thing with his whole build of being like he took Booming Blade with a push weapon mastery. Then he places his orb as well. Like he did it multiple fights, but the one where he actually used the fire orb and stuff too, the fight where King Gus got taken out, he's undoubtedly been the best combat player in terms of like strategy. Like, did he do as much damage as Thimble? No, right? But like in terms of like strategy, yeah. Yeah. Quantum, you tagged me, but I don't see a message. Makes a great character. No, but you're the one who questioned, like you asked me. Like I said he did it. Like I listed all these factors. You picked one of them and asked what it was, and then I explained to you what it was, and now you're going, oh, so is that? No, like what about, like I said so many other things. I said so many other things. You picked the one thing, I addressed the one thing. But I do think this this voting style that we did this time kind of blows. I will say that I do think that this one kind of blows. Because with 60% of you saying he's S tier, it still averages out to be A tier. By like in order to be S, you need a 3.5 out of 4. And he's a 3.37. So, That's kind of silly. It's not. We don't have to harp and go on for a long time about him crying or people enjoying it or not enjoying it. It's fine. Some people really like it and some don't. So that's fine. So nobody can be see. Yeah. We the people didn't vote for these averages. Well, you guys did last time. People came in and were like, "Oh, well, there's whatever," and so it's not really like the oh. And so I swapped to this method because people were like, "Hey, do that." Yeah. It's too crowded. You can move up and down some. I can also just round, right? Like he's 3.37 and 3.5 is that, right? Like it's easy. Like if we did a slight rounding, he would be S and Hal would be B. And I think basically everything else might stay the same. Yeah. The simply they're voting just to troll you. It is what it is. You were just doing your best. Yeah, well that's the thing is I'm kind of like I need to just stop focusing on that because but I agree when people are saying like, yeah, nobody's going to be S and nobody's going to be C. It's like, oh, that's kind of true. Like you have to have a 70% almost to get that. But we'll see. We'll see. So right now we're doing a slight rounding and we will do that, right? Like we'll just yeah. So let's go. We'll drop and then we'll go. We are at Thaisha, so we will do Thaisha here. Start a poll. I lost my thing. Thaisha. S A B C. Need rounding. Let me go back and look at the thing. Let's see. Why do rounding at all? Stick with the system? Well, because the system's just going to result in every character being A and almost A B tier. But sure, we'll just do this. Or no, she was there. He was here. So right now there's no curve, and it's not changing because I don't like the outcome. But I'm also not about to bicker and argue with people in the chat over this. It's supposed to be for fun. So I'm not changing it because I don't like the outcome. I'm changing it because I realize that this system is not working the way that I had thought it would work. When 64% of people are picking somebody and they're still ending up in a worse tier, it's like, well, that seems stupid. And this was a solution to what I did last time. The solution is not working out as I thought it would. But cast your votes. We're at 70 votes. For Thaisha. SNAC will really stand out. Yeah, they're just not going to happen, right? Like if Vaelus couldn't get C tier, it's not going to happen. The best case, I think maybe Wick still gets S, maybe. But that's probably it, which is fine. It is what it is. We're just going to ride it out and do it the way that we're doing it. And that is that. Isn't Howland B? No. How was very low A? Yeah. I'm pretty sure, right? Like that's what he was. He was super low A, like just like on the cusp of being B tier. Yep. Yeah, he's super low A tier, like on the cusp of B tier. Yeah, Storm. See, I don't know. Again, I just tried to put in like here are the 4 tiers, make it a 4-point system, and then average it out, and it's resulting in it very difficult, but it is what it is. And yeah, the last time I did it, it was basically just whoever's the highest, right? It was just like, oh, A tier has 52%, A tier wins is what I did last time. So I tried to do this to make it more legitimate. But it feels like the weights are slightly off. Because it's just like nobody's going to end up in any of these spots. Hala hate squad. I will admit the Hala thing is super obnoxious, but again, that's not like, I don't know. I'm not hating Thaisha as a character because Hala is doing too much. You know what I'm saying? All the stress. It's all good, lettuce. Again, I'm just gonna stick with the way we're doing it. It's a 4-point scale. I'm just averaging it out, and that's the way it's gonna be. Still be a list. The tiers are just here for convenience. So, well, yeah, it's all good. So any remaining votes, go ahead and get those in. We will do another like 20-30 seconds or so, and then we will lock it in. All my homies hate Hala. straight up. Not a big Hala fan. Also, if you guys haven't already, click the thumbs up button below the video. Go ahead and hit that for me. Go ahead and hit that for me. Yeah, but with the averages, she's not Winclair. She is firmly going to be B tier. I blame on the DM. That's fair. That's fair. All right, we'll go ahead and call the vote there. And that is going to put Thaisha right here. I think, let me go back and double check numbers. I think a little higher than Vaelus. 0.7, 0.87. Yeah. So Thaisha came out higher than Vaelus by 0.17%, or 0.17 on a scale of 4. So again, right now, this is also currently left to right, right? This is also the order left to right. So keep that in mind, and we will move on to Julien. Start a poll. Julien. S, A, B, C. Let's go ahead and get the votes in for Julien now. Gavin, you said Schemer's arc because of who to? Do you mean the Seekers? I don't see your previous message, so I don't know who you're referencing. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm gonna guess you meant Seekers. Yeah, go ahead and cast your votes for Julien Davinos. I mean, Seekers, yeah, that's what I thought. Julian's such a wild card for me. Yeah, again, so it's just like Julien is kind of quiet sometimes, but when he's there, he's a presence. But Matt also plays well to where like he isn't always in the spotlight when he's in the scene. A lot of the time, he's happy to kind of be there, and he does also try to move them forward. So, yeah. 2% voted C tier for Julien. Curious about that. Anybody who did C, can you put in the chat your thought process behind that? Didn't feel like didn't benefit as much for the convergence. Do you feel like he suffered at all from it though? Like even if he didn't benefit, like did it negatively impact? Right? That's like in my tier list when I adjusted mine and changed it. Was kind of like a do I like they didn't get better or worse for me, right? There are definitely characters that coming out of the convergence, I'm like, okay, I feel basically the exact same way about them, right? And I think that's valid. I think that's a fair take to just be like they just didn't really change. Comments have been great, and his character isn't min-maxed. His RP is great. His interaction with the character is always approved for what the relationship seems to be. Yeah. My Sky Blue says they don't know how to feel about Julien yet. I feel like Julien has largely been in the background. A few nice moments for sure. He's low A for me. The scenes with his mother and Octus were my favorite newer scenes. Okay. A couple more votes. Hunter says, so sorry I just haven't gotten any sort of connection whatsoever to his character thus far. It feels like the only thing we really know about him is that he's bitter lad who's pretty. Yeah, I mean, rough upbringing, a lot of pressure from his family. And then there's some things that have been alluded to we don't know a lot about. I think he's had great role play. I mean, I can understand that we haven't learned as much about him. There's definitely some secrets, but I feel like it's there's definitely some stuff there. I love the scene roleplay wise when he first, like his father first died and then Octus was brought back and he had like the rapier pointed at him and was like, you all trust him so quickly, yada, yada, yada. Beautiful roleplay scene. Really enjoyed that. All right. I'm going to give it 10 more seconds and then we're going to go ahead and close this one up. So if you haven't already voted, go ahead and do your vote. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that is where we will call that vote. And it looks like it'll just end up most likely being another A tier. At a 3.27, so he's going to fall in right here. And let me double check on Octus's. Yeah, Octus was 3.14. So he is behind Azune, but above Octus there. All right. And that will take us to Murray. Murray Magnuson. Let's go to Murray. S-A-B-C. There we go. Let's get some votes going in on Murray. There's way more to find. If he has that alone, he'd be B, but he makes sure to never let his story be dictated by the plot. Dope. I agree, CD. I think he does a great job with other people. Seemed the right thing to do. I totally agree with him. Anyone but Matt probably goes to save Tayor. True. It was the right choice. 100%. It was the choice that his character should have made. S because it's closest to her cup size is crazy. Absolutely crazy comment. S because it's closest to her cup size is diabolical and true. Murray had a mid-convergence, but shines in the schemer's table at babysitting the moral. Oh, I agree. I said that in mine. I was like, I think she was, towards the top. Convergence didn't lower her for me. It just didn't raise her, right? It was a mid-convergence, which is fine. I think she was shining so much going into it. And even the first episode, she was still very present. And then it dropped a little bit. Yeah. You out of here, Webbers? Peace. I don't like how divination and augury is being used in this campaign. Low A for me would be higher. I agree. I don't necessarily love that myself. Vote S for anyone. I don't mind that. I'm more shocked that Murray is C tier for 7% of the people, right? Like, that's more shocking to me. Katie says, I think Murray is my favorite so far. She's fun. She's fun, and she's been super impactful. Super impactful. I do think augury is ridiculous. And yeah, she had some amazing scenes. She made some great decisions in that fight with where King Gus was present. To stay in the background and do all that stuff. Absolutely killer plays. The teeth tapping. Yeah, everybody, but it's the same thing. It's like Hal uses the reverberating at the back of your neck or the top of your spine. She does the teeth thing, right? Like, Subject of Nitro pretty much wipe out the thieves was also big. Agreed. A instead of S for Murray. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. I think augury thing is more DM thing. She's also been getting some killer roles. Yeah, some of this stuff, you're never going to be able to like get into the head of anybody voting, but like some of it is like things are being held against characters that aren't really them, right? Some people might have voted lower on Thaisha because of Hala, but like, that's something where Brennan needs to step in and be like, hey, so you have to choose what side you're going to be on. Like, you can't be in her at the same time that you're doing these other things. And then same thing with other, right? Like these sorts of things is like, is the way that augury being used in the campaign her fault? No, it's not really Murray's fault, So yeah. Murray or Liam hasn't said it since we put it on a bingo card though. Really? I didn't know that. That's funny. All right. We're already at 76 votes. So if you guys have some more votes, go ahead and throw those in there. We'll give it another 10 or 15 seconds. And if you have already voted, take the time to click the thumbs up button under the video. Go and click that thumbs up. It's looking like it's going to be another A tier for this one, probably. All right. Hannon. Gavin, his name was Hannon. Uh, 3.16. And didn't I say, does that put her above or below Octus? I should be tracking their numbers somewhere. That puts her just above. Julien was 3.27. Yeah. Okay. So that is the current order there. Left to right is the order of those people. And now we go to Kattigan. Kattigan Vale. Everyone is good. Yo, what's up, Gorbash? Oh, the A tiers. Yeah, because there's too many in A tier. Unfortunate. All right, let me see what I can do about that. So I can either shrink it all down, or I can shrink the chat. Sorry, chat. When personality is strong and well defined, some nice moments with Tyranny flashbacks, high B, low A. Okay. Katie says B. Cat is fun. I'm excited to see where he goes with revenge against Primus. The scary thing is I don't believe Murray's ever been hit in a fight because, yeah, once enemy target, she's down with her AC. Yeah. It's not Kattigan's fault the dice screwed him over and over again. The cat and Thimble dynamic at the soldiers table is what endeared me so much to those two PCs. I like the character. I think his RP has been good. I'm not sure he's made a difference anywhere, though. No, I mean, he hasn't really done that much. Hasn't really done that much. Well, to be fair, Dragon Drake, that was more set up by Brennan being like, "Oh, you saw them," and then he's like, "Oh, okay, I guess that's my cue. I'm gonna go," and then he's the one who like brought them into the scene. So, well, to be fair, they rolled really poorly against the Seekers. Uber, they rolled really poorly against the Seekers. I think they were supposed to be stronger than they were. But yeah, go ahead and cast your votes, guys. If you haven't already, we are about 10 votes less than we've been getting for the other characters. So if you haven't already thrown a vote in for Kattigan, go ahead and throw it in. Silly boy his way through a scene. No, I agree with you. I think he swapped into a silly boy through the entire convergence for the most part. Which he's good at. It was funny, but it was jarring because it's like, when did you become a silly boy? You haven't been a silly boy. And now you're being a silly boy. Yeah, Daniel says the demons aren't weak. Brennan rolled like garbage in the bridge fight, so they seem much less powerful than they were. There's lots of evidence that they're very stupid and easily fooled. Yep, I agree. 20% S tier is kind of hilarious. Yeah. It was disappointing. Again, it was a funny scene. The scene was funny. It just didn't really fit Kattigan to me. You know, like that was my thing with that scene, personally. Oh yeah, did they? Wait, no. What's up, Monday? Am I not seeing the chats from like TikTok? Oh, there it is. I've just been looking at the wrong chat and ignoring people on every other platform. I'm biased because of Robbie, but I think objectively Kattigan's a B tier currently. For me, um, I think I had him at B, but like to me, he's like cusp. Like he's still on a potentially room for improvement, but I feel like the improvement is just that like we don't know like what's going on. You know, like we got a little bit of him now, but there's still so many questions to be answered. He's a background character in most every scene that he's in. So yeah. But all right, poll's been up for a bit, so I'm about to close it on down and we'll figure out where he's going. I don't know why Murray isn't higher. Spaniel, that is just the way the system is working. In actuality, so it's very hard because it's a 4-tier system. You need a 3.5 out of 4 to get S tier. So it is also ranked left to right. So in actuality, you go, why is she ranked so low, or why isn't she higher? The only 2 people above her right now are Azune and Julien, and Julien is just barely. So she's above. Like these are people that she is above. It also goes left to right. Yeah. All right. Kattigan ended up, I believe, at the highest end of B tier. So there we go. We go to Wicander Halovar. All right. Go ahead and get your votes in for Wick. Wicander Halovar votes come in now. Yeah, I hear you, Alejandria. It'll something I'll have to look into for the next one, maybe. Doesn't get A tier. I mean, he might. There's already 4% of people who have voted C. So we will see. Wicander, aka Nick Falcon. I like how he isn't instantly switching up. Yeah. No note, straight heat. Yeah. No, he's been incredible. Wick's back must be sore from carrying those soldiers. Let's see. A person watching now says best same character so far with lots of room for growth and a long story arc. He's a clown with layers and an innocent who just became a murderer. S tier. Can't wait for more. Look, Wick getting his life saved is not his fault, but I really hope that Brennan has some nasty ambush for him. Yeah, definitely some payback. Convergence def S tier. Really, Katie? He was S tier for me before the convergence. Yeah, go ahead, guys. Couple more minutes for voting. Definitely. I strongly disagree with him being a joke character. Strongly disagree, and I think it's been proven time and time and time again. I think just the fact that Sam is funny and Wick has funny moments doesn't make him a joke character. I think he's had great serious moments. He's had great strong moments. He's had great speeches. He's had great role play. He's had really funny moments, like incredibly well-rounded. A joke character is like I can't get behind that. Yeah. he's naive, but like he's growing, and there's an arc that's happening with that is like paced well enough that it doesn't feel like it's just like he flipped a switch and he's not naive anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I think that it's been a beautiful run for Wicander so far, personally. I feel thinking there's a joke character they need to watch when he snapped at Thaisha, how he handled Primus and his grandmother. Yeah. He's fantastic. Big fan. Gets me. Well, one, I mean, that's not a joke at all. But yeah, he went there to address them. Again, he probably felt safe. All that sort of stuff. But yeah, if you guys haven't already voted, we're just voting on, it's the community tier list. You guys are voting for how you feel about the characters. So if you really love Wick and think he's a top tier character, vote S tier. I agree, AK. I agree. Berzinger, he really like had his moment. No doubt. Mr. Wow. I'll run it real quick, but when I ran it like a vote or two ago, it was like the closest possible. It was like 3.46, and you need a 3.5 to get S. Yeah, it's still a 3.46. And then like right now we just got another vote for A, so he's still going to end up being an A tier. Nobody's going to be an S tier character. Some of the not familiar with Sans Prince. Can we still everything? Wick is joking. He wasn't heading there to save Taylor. He was heading there because if Taylor died, then the rest of them were probably in trouble. Yeah, that's basically what his logic was. Yeah. Yeah, and it's just because of the scale that I'm using that like S tier is essentially impossible. Just a mistake in how I decided to do this. We had a discussion about it earlier. So I am doing them in order left to right. So this is still kind of the order that it will be, but I will go ahead and call the vote. So I'm going to end the poll. And doing that. Brennan was, so there was a Brennan picture in the other one. I didn't choose that one. So yeah. So Wick ended up with a 3.45 out of 4. He was 0.05 short of S tier. 0.05 short. So I was late to party. Yeah, MB. It's not how, like, in the future I will try to find a better way to do this, because I think it's super lame that everybody just sits in B&A. I just don't think it's fun. But, you know, that's just where we ended up. And it's a system I put together, so it's nobody's fault but mine. Let me scroll so you can see. It's also making this very difficult because I have to arrange it all to get everybody to show. I think simple fix. Yeah, but so that's the limitation. Is I can only do 4 options on the YouTube polls. Glad. So the only potential solution is to do the poll somewhere else and make people have to like go like I'd have to put a link for every vote. I'd have to put it in the chat. People would have to click the link, go to straw poll, do the thing, and then I'd have to take it from there. Or do it in Discord, or do it right. Versus like right now, I can just be like, boom, YouTube chat. It's all right there. Downside being, yeah.
I don't get this.
Adel, thank you for the follow. Really asked for the system last time. I don't think people thought it was going to be this. You know, when you got people getting 60, 65%, I don't think people thought. Because again, this is just, it's just every character is just going to be A tier and a couple in B tier. So I don't know. It is what it is. Bolaire, we are moving on to Bolaire. S-A-B-C. Bolaire vote. Get it in. Get it in. The poll is over on YouTube at the top of the chat. I can show you a third-party poll widget that works in Twitch, YouTube, and Kick that allows for more. That would be amazing, Bone, because that could solve this problem. I'm almost positive if there was a D tier, that could solve this problem, and we'd probably have a greater variety of this. At least I would hope it would. But yeah, the 4-point scale is not ideal for this, but it is what it is. And I'm going to make a wild guess here, chat, and I'm going to, without looking, I'm going to say Bolaire is going to end up in the A tier. Best character concept. I love it. I tried playing a sentient sword once upon a time. It just didn't work. The mask is brilliant. Yeah, it's solid. He's got a really unique character. He's had some awesome moments. He's had some great dialogue. So it's cool. Every shape in the square hole. Yeah. Or they just keep going. They're like, the circle, where does that go? And they're like, the square hole. The triangle, where does that go? The square hole. Yeah. It's not happening, David. It's not happening. So fresh, and we'll enjoy seeing how each of the evolves as it progresses. I agree. I think for the most part, people are doing really well. Results, but let's go back to the. Yeah, I don't know enough about it, Alejandra. I thought it would be simple, so I just pulled some up and did that. But clearly something needs to change, but we'll see. Bolaire lets me know my D&D characters aren't creepy enough. Bolaire is the whole reason why the soldiers came back to the city to unpetrify Sid. He's very important to me throughout and has played masterfully. Anyone ever read SCP-035? Basically, Bolaire if evil. I've heard that before, I think. Fight the system. I was late, otherwise I would have voted S tier for everyone. Well, that doesn't do any good either. Huzzah, the square hole. We'll give it another minute for the Bolaire vote. Cast your vote if you haven't already. His perspective is fascinating. It is interesting how he sees himself as mainly innocent, even considering things he did that no one forced him to do, like murder, but it makes sense for him. Yeah, he's got a very different mind, right? Like compared to others, it's just a very different mind. Voting either S or C, no in between. Don't say that. I know you're kidding because you probably haven't voted at all. It's funny watching the lady in the video slowly lose it. Every shape goes in the square hole. Agreed. C-Dub says, Bolaire also needs no improvements. I'm just eager to hear his story be told. Because, right, this is a thing that is gaining a soul through existing. I like that a lot. It's very interesting. Being older than the vast majority of the group, also better than Vaelus, but that also might just because of the class. Yeah. All right. We're going to go ahead and call the vote. Missed that one. Oh, really? So what do you base it on? The first 2 episodes of the Overture? All right, ending that poll, and we will move to Tayor. And let's look at it. 3.24. I think that puts him here. I'm pretty positive that puts him here. Oh no, he's still behind Julien. It's 3.45, 3.37, 3.27, 3.24, 3.16, 3.09, 2.74, 2.60, 2.5, 1.87, 1.7. All right, Tayor. S, A, B, C. I will take Tayor off of this if y'all put him in S tier. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Ain't no way. Cause yeah, I'm fixing it right now. This is for my dead homies tier. Valid. Can't improve upon death. He perfect. He's more impact to the story than anything else he did in the episode. So no, I think that's totally valid. He's definitely probably in the bottom 2 or 3 for impact, like on the story and all that sort of stuff. I agree with that. Can you compare the list to the majority vote after? Yeah, I could probably do that. All right, make sure you guys are getting your votes in. Get your votes in. We're at 66. Cast some of your votes. Make sure we get all your votes so we can move on to the last one. And then I will show both the majorities as well as the rest. What's up, Sherry? Yeah, the light thing, figuring out where his power came from and all that sort of stuff would be dope. Would be super dope. But alas, we could not discover it. All right, we're going to go ahead and call the vote on Tayor. Or wait, we just had another vote come in. So I'm going to do one last look at it. And now we will call it. And I'm pretty sure that's just going to be... 2.03. Just gonna put him right here. And last but not least, Tyranny. Here we go. Go ahead and cast your votes for Tyranny. The last vote of the community tier list. We have Tyranny. Not last. Wick has Tayor's Light. Oh, yeah. I feel like Act 1 was mostly for schemers and members of the Sundered Houses. I feel like going forward, we can build more of the backstories of others. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get some more of other stuff. She's currently valid. That's where I think she moved up for me and mine as she's become more comfortable. She's on the rise. She hit the table with a basic new wacky player vibe, but I think she's getting in the groove. Yeah, that's what I said in my video. If you guys haven't watched my conversions tier list, some of your thoughts are exactly how I felt. I think she's becoming better. She's definitely starting to act more in game, all those sorts of things. And very early on, it was big swings. It was like she was a top character or really bad. Like her stuff was very, again, just like Gavin said, it's like Valley Girl self-insert. And it just felt like there was that, and then there'd be a good scene. She'd have a good scene, and then she'd go back to a Valley Girl insert. And I don't love that. So like those big swings were happening because her humor, so I described this in my video. I said her humor was like Wick's humor is like in-game humor. His funny moments are like they fit the world, they fit the whatever. And hers are like real life humor put in the game. And there's like this immersion breaking aspect. But I think she's getting better about it. She's finding her footing. And so she's on the rise. She's on the rise. Like, I don't know how high she'll get. I don't know if she'll like relapse back into some stuff, but she's come up some, but she's still not near the top for me. But her best moments are really good. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you cast your votes. After this, we'll look at this poll, and then I will also go and pull the information for if we did majority wins and see how different that one looks. So I'm going to give it like 30 more seconds. If you haven't already voted for Tyranny, go ahead and throw your vote in. I don't even think that's on her character or the acting. I just think the plot didn't suit her being in the backseat. She makes strong choices, but the story nulls them. I can understand that point of view of like she's somewhat limited because she's on the hip of Wick. And so some of the stuff, yeah, I can get that to a degree. All right. Looks like no new votes have come in since I said that. So let me get ready to end it. All right. 24, 18. So that actually puts her at 2.49 to Kattigan's 2.5. So these two are neck and neck. They're both like, if one more vote potentially went in a different direction or whatever it is, they could both have also been A tier. That's how close we were to having everybody in A and 3 characters in B. Where the demons are. I don't. So no, I don't think he goes as far. He plays them as ditzy. But yeah. It's silly, it's whatever. I mean, it does play a role, but yeah. The Dr. Finger thing felt like it just kept kind of being forced there, and I wasn't. But again, I think she's growing, and I think there's moments with that for sure. All right. So keep in mind, this is also directly, again, based on y'all's vote. This is based left to right as well. So the highest overall was Wick, then Azune, and it goes down this way, and then we cut and we go down this way. And if we did a different poll, where it was just the highest number one, I'm going to show you guys here in a second what that would look like. But I'll tell you right now, 5 characters are in S tier if majority rule wins. And I'm going to do it in the order as well, which was actually Wick and Azune both ended up at exactly 60% for S tier. Bolaire was 51. Julien was 47% for S tier, which was majority. Murray is 44. A tier would just be Hal, then Thimble, because he actually got higher than she did, and then Octus. Wow. This is kind of a bad way of doing it too, though, because Octus, like his A was 38%, but his S, whatever. We're just gonna do it. And then Tyranny Kattigan, and then Vaelus, Thaisha, Tayor. All right, so let me figure out a good way of showing this. Oh, I agree with that, Daniel. Yeah, that would have been pretty fitting. Okay, let's go. What about this scene? Does this scene work? Yeah. All right. Why is it cut off? World building. Display capture. Why is that? Has that been open in the background the whole time? All right. Sorry, I'm trying to find a way to make this look in a way that you guys can understand. Okay, I'm just gonna hide me for this, so this is easier. All right, so on the left side, wait, no, why is this fit to canvas? Okay, here we go. All right, the left side is if it was done by majority, like the just whatever the highest vote was. Oh no way, did it swap this one too? No. Why did it change? Oh no, never mind. Ignore me. The left one is what you guys voted on. All right, left is what you guys voted on. Ignore me. And the right one is based on majority rules. I don't think chat needs to be on screen for this, so I'm going to get rid of the chat and I'm going to add me back. Yeah. So here is what you guys were looking like if you did the high thing. So this is how it ended up coming out with the 4-point scale was right here. Everybody in A and B. And then this is percentage based. And this is also ranked by highest percentage. So like Wick and Azune both had 60%. Then it was like 57 or something for Bolaire, and then whatever. And then same down here. Taylor had the lowest percentage of C votes. So that it's not a great indication. Don't pay attention to left to right because that doesn't necessarily mean that, but it technically it did, right? It was that Vaelus had 56% C, Thaisha had 42%, and Taylor had 40%. But that actually means that Taylor was higher, which is why he's above them in this, right? Like average wise, he's over here because he had less votes in C. So it's not done correctly in that way. Yeah, so I would just pay attention to where they are. This is just the majority vote, and then this is what you guys voted. Oh, do I have my personal list too? I would have to pull up the video. Because I don't have it like screenshot or anything. And it was done in this tier list, but yeah, I can pull it up in a second. All right, and here's my list. Here's my list in comparison. So mine looks a lot more like the right side. I actually had people that I thought did really well and some people that had room for improvement. And then, yeah. It's me. I'm people. Yeah, hold on. Maybe if I just thin it up and do it this way. Is that no, I'm in the way. All of this is terrible. I hate everything about this. There you go. There are the different tier lists. right there. You have on the left your votes today. If it was just going through the averages. Averages is on the left. Highest percentage wins, so like majority rules in the middle for your votes, and then right side is my vote. So right side are the right votes, the correct votes. The only way to vote is on the right because it's mine, and then y'all's votes are over here. Yeah, there you go. Second one, better. We have a rank choice. Yeah, next time we'll do a whole stream dedicated to voting on what rank system we'll use to be able to do these. Go with the left. Yeah, so this is it. And yeah, it kind of looks like mine is somewhat similar to the majorities. But yeah, let's vote on Discord, get more options. Yeah, I mean we could do it on Discord too, but this is easier to do. But if I can figure out, Bone Dragon said they had a way to be able to vote in a different way, and so that may be what we end up doing. Is figure that out. This one was majority rules. And then this one was four-point scale. How to get that to you. Are you in my Discord by chance? Otherwise, I think they've added messaging on YouTube. I don't know how it works. Is it a surprise that we all mostly agree? Well, do you mean on, so the one where they were like all in A and B, I don't, that wasn't mostly agreeing, it was just like the averages. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, people like, it wasn't like there was a massive disparity on most, right? Yeah. Yeah, there were definitely votes of spite. Definitely votes of spite. Definitely votes where people were doing it just for the sake of like messing with stuff or doing like oh, I'm gonna vote C tier on this character because I want it to skew lower, even though I think it's a B tier or an A tier. I'm gonna vote C, or oh, I'm gonna vote S because I want it to fall into B or whatever. And it's like, yeah, people definitely did that. But yeah, no, it was fun. It was still a good time. Every character falling in great and good is interesting in the Discord, then yeah, shoot me a message about how to get it, and we will figure that out. So we'll work on it for the next one. We have some time before there ends up being another one, so all good for that. But yeah, I'm gonna hop out of here, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for participating. Join the Discord if you haven't already. We have a channel dedicated to Campaign 4 as well as to Age of Umbra. So if you want to watch Age of Umbra and talk about it, there's a Discord channel for that, amongst other things. So jump on in there, say what's up, get notified when, you know, there's going to be more live streams and all those sorts of things. But yeah. Thanks for hanging, guys. I appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I will see you guys in the next one. Go watch. I put out a video today. Go watch it. It's only like 8 minutes long. Go watch my video right now. Go watch it.